What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Next Gen 720, and I am back with another video. This here is my polls fight reaction to Anthony Joshua versus Klitschko. And from the offside of the fight, Anthony Joshua fought the wrong fight. He tried to sit out in the middle of the ring and box with Klitschko. Something you can't. That's Klitschko's song too. Being able to control the pace with his long range, the jab in the right hand. The how to beat Klitschko is to make him uncomfortable and then to put him on the back foot, which he ended up doing. Which he ended up doing in the fight and was able to get the knockout. But his success throughout the fight, as far as Anthony Joshua came when he was forcing the pressure, applying the pressure, and like I said again, putting Klitschko on his back foot. But say like the first 4 rounds, so it was a chess match, filling each other out, more or less. Trading jabs, maybe trading little right hands here and there. Nothing major. Then the 5th round came out, and what happened? Soon as Anthony Joshua got off the stool, he attacked him, hopped right on him, hit him with the right hand, and hit him with the right hand, and hurt him. Really hurts him with the hook. Put a nasty cut over his eye, and to his credit, Klitschko got up, but Anthony Joshua kind of, he's called a spin get checked. He wasted all. He gassed himself out in the 5th round, you know what I mean? Exerted a lot of energy, and people have questions about Anthony Joshua's stamina because he hasn't yet been the distance. I think the longest it was like 7 rounds, but normally he's in the command of a fight and he's having his way in his will, you know what I mean? No one's really, forcing him to fight, but I'm gonna come to that in a minute. So he knocks him down, Klitschko gets up, he gasses himself out, and then what happens in the 6th round, which I also know is a weakness on Joshua's part, Klitschko put him on his back foot. He came out and attacked him and hurt him. What it looks like right now, like I said, I understand that Anthony Joshua is 27 years old and he has a lot of growing to do still. He doesn't do well for, again, fighting off the back foot. And another complaint I have for Joshua's is that he's too straight up and down stiff. You know what I mean? Let's call it top heavy. Normally when you're real muscular and stuff, when you're in boxing, it's really no good because your punches are supposed to flow. You know what I mean? And he's very top heavy, very bulky. And also when he was slipping a lot of punches, he was straight, blowing his head straight down. Now, stuff like that you couldn't get away with in the lower weight class. Because like I said, I like the lower weight class as far as boxing because it takes more skill. That's why I was such a huge fan of Evander Holyfield and Chris Bird, because those guys really had high boxing IQs. You know what I mean? But if the mistakes that Anthony Joshua, even Klitschko, were making in this fight, they wouldn't survive in the lower weight class. Like bending with your head straight down, a fighter would take a half step back, rip an uppercut, right hand left hook. You know what I mean? Put it together. But anyway, as I was saying, Anthony Joshua made this fight a lot harder than what it had to be. The keys to beat Klitschko, honestly, is to attack him and to put him on his back foot. And the success came in the 5th round when he came out, hopped right on him, put him down. And then again, I believe it was he ended up stopping him in the 9th or the 10th. He ended up stopping him, he came right out again and hopped right on him. You can't sit out there and box with Klitschko in the middle of the ring. That's his domain. That's when he's been so successful, been the champ for the last 11 years. He has... And again, it hasn't been very fan friendly, and that's why he hasn't become a big star in the States. Talking about Forrest Klitschko, because he slows the fight down to his face, to his speed. He has these long rangey arms. He paws with the jab, maybe right hand. He lulls you to sleep. Right hand, point, hook, and and then ties you up. That's what he does. And that's why it hasn't been very. He doesn't have a very fan friendly style. You know what I mean? But all props and all kudos to Anthony Joshua. I'm about to join the show right now. We're just teasing my man, Winky, Winky Boxing, Winky Gaming. I was just teasing like, yo, your man Anthony Joshua had looking like shit. Now listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Out of all the heavyweights, of course, like I said, England and stuff get behind their fighters. He's probably about the biggest draw. But I'm not even a big fan of Deontay Wilder. I don't see. Maybe unless Joshua comes out and clips him, I see Deontay Wilder beating him. You know why? Because he was open for Klitschko's right hand all day. And one thing about about the Browns, he has a hard right hand. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but it is what, like I said, all kudos and much props to Anthony Joshua. If I was Klitschko, I'm quite sure, not to count the man's pocket, I'm quite sure he made enough money, and especially there's 90,000 people that had a lot of huge paydays. Time to leave it alone. You know what I mean? Hang up the gloves, man. You got nothing to prove. You was champion for 11 years, man. You know, I know they do have a rematch clause in the contract, but he wasn't the champ. Joshua was the champ, but if it makes dollars, it makes sense though. But honestly, Klitschko has nothing else to prove, man. But anyway, this is your boy Next Gen 720. I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to do a video with my man Wiggy Gaming. I want to do a breakdown of the fight here, but I'm out of here, man. Bang.